Three, two, one. Hi. Welcome back to my podcast. Jack's Dystonic Journey. This is episode 7, because I'm including the shorts I did during the week. So this podcast is about raising awareness for dystonia. I know I've done some comical stories and everything, but like I feel this is important to also talk about some of the challenges that I have faced. Some are upsetting, some are very triggering. They might be for some. So if you don't want to be triggered, or you feel that you want to take a break, it's absolutely fine. I'm gonna say what challenges I currently face in terms of finding work that's more suitable for me. In terms of talking in front of the camera, I can do that, which is good. But I do face a lot of challenges in terms of socializing and everything like that. So I do have difficulty talking with people about my condition. Okay, let's start from. So I've talked about when my condition started, but now I want to talk about some of the challenges. So my dystonia pulls me my neck to one side. It can sometimes it does impact my torso, and yeah, it's challenging because whenever I'm on the tube or I'm on public transport, it does mean I have to sit down. Because if my dystonia is worse or anything like that, it will be difficult for me to stand for prolonged periods of time. I do take rests, and my dystonia on this one occasion pulled me to the side, pulled me down to my right, and literally my right ear was on the tube armrest because my dystonia had affected me on my left side, and it pulled me down that much. I've also had people laughing at me, looking at me, and everything like that, but I won't go into detail there. I wanted to create this channel, this podcast, to more share what I know about dystonia and how dystonia has affected me. It does affect my memory, in terms of my memory. So if I'm asked to do something and I don't do it straight off, I sometimes forget, and I will not remember it until someone reminds me. Yeah, my challenges with dystonia is a lot of drinks, holding, traveling, and it's more. I want to be transparent with this because it is hard for me. And like I almost feel like if people don't know, then people won't. People will look at me when I'm parked in a blue badge bay, and because they probably they don't see me when I leave my car, and like it just annoys me that I have to deal with that. I'm doing good in terms of but it does affect my communication, which makes it a lot harder for me to make friends, to communicate with people, and everything like that. So yeah, dystonia for me is a massive challenge and a hurdle that I'm facing every single day of my existence. I am I do have medication, and I do take um anxiety meds to help me cope with my dystonia and my dystonic twitches and my tremors and everything like that. So obviously I have that. I also have botulinum injections, which really help me in terms of my speech. My speech is, when I wasn't take when I wasn't having botulinum injections, you would really hear it in my voice, and in terms of my voice would become distorted, and it would be very difficult for me to speak. Botulinum injections in my neck have helped me to be able to become more confident when talking to a camera or to anyone else. It's helped me in terms of my confidence, and I also have botulinum injections in my right arm. It's left on camera, but it's my right. so yeah, I have botulinum injections I have about 4 in my arm to help control the tremor and make sure that the tremor doesn't affect things like carrying drinks or my handwriting. Significantly improves through having that. So there are treatments out there. There are treatments in terms of medications. I've been on about 5 or 4 medications in the past. I've been on propranolol, gabapentin, which didn't help me, but they've helped other people living with dystonia, and yeah, like it's more it so medication can affect can benefit some more than others. In terms of surgeries, I've had deep brain stimulator put in, where there is 2 electrodes placed into the brain, making them and basically it's placed to there's a part of the brain that the electrodes go into to help the dystonic spasms and the dystonic movements. For me, it did it worked, and then it didn't work for me in terms of the fact where it did work. So when I had the electrodes placed in, so for people with Parkinson's, it's straight away, because they fiddle with these settings to effectively, and because they're awake, they can demonstrate the so when Parkinson's users have the electrodes put in, they're awake under anesthetic, but that doesn't knock them out, so that they can alter the settings whilst they're awake, and and then basically it can alter their tremor, it can help, and then they can see the actual benefit to having deep brain stimulator. For me, I was more knocked out, so under general anesthetic, and they placed the electrodes in with the wire that went down the right side of my neck, down to the box in my abdomen, and it was, so I had an infection in one of my scars, which which I was under antibiotics for, and there wasn't much that they could do with adjusting the settings because they didn't know what type of infection that I had. They were kind of hoping that the antibiotics would work and that after they could alter the settings much more. So they could only do tiny adjustments to the settings. So I didn't really see a real benefit to it, but I know other people with dystonia have benefited from having the deep brain stimulator surgery, and yeah, so like I said, it works for some, but for me it didn't work because of an infection. I had the infection and then it travelled from one scar to my neck, so one scar in my abdomen up to my chest, and then it travelled to my neck. Now, from there, they said they need to remove it because my body was effectively trying to remove the foreign object. If you know about anatomy, the body tries to act as a as close to cleaning and basically trying to get the foreign object out of the body rather than rather than just living with it, it couldn't, and basically it travelled up to my neck, and they had to remove it. And I had only had the deep brain stimulator in for. So I had it in November and had it removed in April or May. So yeah, I didn't really see a real benefit to deep brain stimulator. Will I have the surgery again and potentially, you know, if it will, so sometime in the future they'll come up with a better system. Currently they're still working with the deep brain stimulator, but making the stimulators smaller and smaller, and soon it will be all Bluetooth and stuff like that. When I want the surgery again, the option is still there for me. I probably will wait until the technology is more advanced, so in terms of Bluetooth and everything like that, they are making changes to the deep brain stimulator, and what's included in having the deep brain stimulator. But once those developments and advancements in technology and everything, I potentially could go for the surgery again. It's still on the table. So I haven't really put it off. There's a lot of stigma around the surgery and around everything else, so I am trying to remain positive. And yeah, hopefully the advance in technology will help, and we will be able to see in the future whether I have that surgery or not. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. It was longer than I originally thought. But yeah, again, I thank everybody for subscribing. We hit 351 subscribers, and hopefully we're growing, and hopefully you enjoyed this. It was a little negative at the start, but we're at firm ground now. So yeah, if you have any questions or would like to add any questions, please put them down in the comments and I'll try to answer them the best I can in a video or in another episode of the podcast. But this has been Jack and Jack's Dystonic Journey, and thank you all for subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.